our stress can influence our aging. It's not as much about how much stress you have in your life, it's more about how you believe you're stressed out. So here is the most important tool you're going to hear today about becoming resilient to stress, something that is completely free, readily available. Nobody's going to patent, nobody can sell to you, and you can do immediately in only minutes. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Spirit. I'm your host, Dr. Diely Pichardo Johansson, retired board-certified hematologist-oncologist and twice cancer survivor. The third concept I want to talk about is very important, and it's the concept of perceived stress. For that, I need to give you a little bridge of science. There is a famous study that proves that stress can affect your telomere length. As you may remember, telomeres are these caps at the end of chromosomes that every time the cell divides get a little shorter, cause cellular aging. And when we run out of them, then the cell dies. That sounds like a very scary concept to hear that our stress can influence our aging. But there is a reason why I'm sharing this study. In this study, they compared two groups. One group that represented the people with the highest amount of stress, mothers of children with chronic illnesses. And I have been in that boat, by the way. That is considered one of the greatest sources of stress. And they compare them with similar age mothers of healthy children, people who also had eustress in their lives, but did not have all the extra amount of stress that comes with having a sick child. They studied the telomerase enzyme and the telomere length in these patients, and they confirmed what we knew, that the more stress someone had, the more the telomeres would shorten. But despite the fact that clearly the mothers of kids with chronic health issues had much more stress in their lives, the amount of stress was less correlated to the telomere shortening, the cell aging, than the amount of perceived stress. It's not as much about how much stress you have in your life, it's more about how you believe you're stressed out. Take this in for a moment. We have people who have a beautiful, glowing, healthy child and perceive themselves as victims and stressed out. Why my life is so hard? And they can be more stressed out and be damaging themselves more than the mother of a child with a chronic illness that definitely has a lot more on her plate. But that person has a different attitude. That person perceives their situation as something they're doing gladly. Maybe it's not a cliche after all, that attitude is everything. You may say, but what can I do about that? There is not much I can do to change my attitude. I hate when people tell me change your attitude, like if it was that easy. Well, I want you to take the concept of perceived stress to one step deeper. And is the concept about differentiating pain versus suffering. What is the difference? If I fell and scraped my knees, that is called pain. My body is equipped with nerves to let me know it's not good to scrape your skin and hurt yourself. Stop doing this. If in addition to scraping my knees, I start beating myself up and telling myself, you clumsy person, why do you always fall? Every time you get it wrong. That is not pain, that is suffering. Suffering is the added emotional history, interpretation, meaning emotions that we add to the pain. And you've heard it before, pain is unavoidable. Suffering is optional. So here is the most important tool you're going to hear today about handling stress and making sure it does not affect your health. That if anything, it becomes a source of resilience and a source of strength. Change history. Please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. When you share this video, when you like it, when you comment, you are helping us change the conversation and shift the consensus reality in the world. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Now, back to the show. Change the emotional history. Anything you can do to change the meaning, the interpretation, and the emotional history you are carrying into the situation is going to have a dramatic impact in how much that stress is affecting your health, whether you are perceiving it as more or less stressful. What does that mean? Prioritize forgiveness is not a cliche. When you forgive, you are dramatically helping your physiology because the same situation that was causing you suffering before becomes barely a source of mild pain. Work on closure, prioritize trauma resolution. If all this sounds too difficult, if you think it's going to take too much time, I have the bonus, the extra, the most important tool you're going to hear today, something that is completely free, readily available. Nobody's going to patent, nobody can sell to you, and you can do immediately in only minutes to get started in changing your definition of suffering to pain and changing forever the emotional history you are bringing. Are you ready? It is mindfulness. We're going to be talking a lot about mindfulness. There's many benefits that meditation can bring to your life, but today I only want to talk to you about one benefit, and it is that mindfulness is training yourself to stay in the present moment. 99.9% of our stress, our suffering comes to us because we are moving to the future or we are moving to the past. Anxiety comes from worrying about the future. Sadness, anger, desire for revenge, all that comes from being stuck in the past. When you train yourself through mindfulness, even if only a few minutes a day, you start inhabiting the present moment and you are less likely to bring that emotional history. No wonder mindfulness has hundreds of studies shown to dramatically improve the wiring of your nervous system, your emotional maturity, your health in general. We'll be talking more about that in the future. When we face overwhelming amount of stress, for example, in a very traumatic event, our nervous system, if it's unable to process that event, locks your adrenergic system into the on position. Learning to calm your adrenergic system can help you with anxiety, sleep disorders, high blood pressure, tachyarrhythmias, fast heart rate, can help you with your immune system and indirectly with many gastrointestinal symptoms. How can we regulate our adrenergic system? Stay till the end and we'll tell you how.